Hey guys, Mo Trapper. So I got a question about Bobcat flags. I made a video a while back about Bobcat flags, the ones that I make, and I had a question about, kind of how are they holding up, and then he also asked if I had any trail camera footage, like of catches with using the flags, and they're holding up well. I don't have any trail camera footage of catches using the flags. Um, I've been trying. I promise I've been trying to get some catches on trail camera. I just haven't had a whole lot of success in doing that. I do have, if you watch my gray fox catch video from this past season, I do have some trail camera footage of those foxes, and it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat footage if you watch it. They actually take turns. There's two of them, and they take turns kind of rolling in my set before one of them gets caught. So that's some pretty neat footage. If you go back and watch that video, you'll see what I'm talking about. But other than that, I've got some possums and some raccoons that I've caught on video. But actually, the catch itself, I don't think was on video on either of them. It was kind of them, pawing at the set, and of course, those trail cameras have a set length, right? So you can record, I think, for like 30 seconds, and then it shuts off for 10 seconds and then records for another 30 seconds, something like that. So I've got some videos like that where you see them come in and start to work the set, and then the next video they're already caught in the trap. So not so exciting. I know that those trail cameras do make a noise, and I know that they do put off a little bit of a red glow. So I'm not sure if that has something to do with it. Maybe the cameras I'm using aren't ideal, you know what I mean? Maybe they're louder or brighter than some other ones that are out there. And maybe I'm just, not very lucky when it comes, because it seems like every time I go and make a set, that I think's a really good one for a camera, and I get a camera on that set, I end up catching in a set that's, fairly close, but not that set, and it didn't catch it on camera. So, but I'm gonna keep trying, and anything I catch, anything that I get video of, I'll definitely put out there. So, back to the Bobcat flags. So this is one that was put out last year for quite a while, probably 20 or 30 days it was out, and you can see the swivels. It's looks a little worse for the wear, but it's still quiet. It still spins freely. So I think they're fairly durable. You know what I mean? This one's a small flag, and if you go back and watch the first Bobcat catch that I made of this past season, I talk about the flag. It was a flag almost identical to this one, and it was gone. So that set did have a flag on it, and the only explanation I come up with is that Bobcat actually ate my flag, because I looked everywhere around that set. It was basically gone from this point right here. So this snap swivel had failed. The flag was gone, and I mean gone. So I looked around the set for, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes trying to find that flag, just because I wanted to know what happened to it. I could just make a new one. It's not that I needed the flag. I was just curious, like, what in the heck happened to this flag? And it was gone. So I think she probably ate it. But anyway, that was one that I know for sure was caught over a flag. There's another one that I know for sure was caught over a flag, and I think there was a third one that was caught over a flag set. So they're pretty effective. That's an example of one. This one obviously much bigger. Got some Coke can caught up or cut up in there too. Much bigger flag there with turkey wing feathers. And then this one here is kind of, medium size. I think these are snow goose feathers. Another example of one that was out last year for quite a while. So they are, seem to be holding up, seem to be effective. So I'll talk about how I make them now. So I made a couple new ones to replace some of the ones that were lost or damaged from last year. And so I tie this loop. This, by the way, is hot wire, so it's galvanized electric fence wire. And I tie this loop in the end. In that loop, I'll put a barrel swivel. So this is a size 3 barrel swivel, and it's got a snap link on the end, so I can just pop them off and pop them back on. If I were to lose a flag or something like that, or if the flag were to get damaged, I could just take it off and put a different one on it. So that's that part. Obviously the feathers are just feathers I've collected. So there's a turkey feather in here. These are crow feathers, and this is a snow goose feather. When I get those feathers, I'll pick the ones that I want, and I'll bunch all the ends of them together right at the quill tips. I take black electrician's tape and wrap around that so they're nice and tight. After that, I will take this 17 gauge galvanized wire, and I wrap that really tightly around the black tape, make a loop with it, and then take the other end and wrap it tightly around as well. It helps to have a pair of pliers so you can kind of, you know, round them off so they're not sticking out and poking through everything on the ends. And then I take heat shrink tube right there, and I usually take at least 2 pieces and drop them down over the whole mess and heat shrink it down so that it all stays nice and compact and together. And like I said, it seems to be working pretty well. They seem to be pretty durable. I know there are a lot of guys out there that use like whole duck wings and you know, whole you know, quail or pheasant wings, and that's great, that's fine. I know a lot of those guys catch a lot of stuff, so you know, I can't argue with it. The only reason I'm doing these is because I had feathers. I didn't have full wings at the time, so all I had was feathers, so I was just trying to come up with a way to use those feathers as a flag. And when it comes to size, so this is probably the biggest flag that I made, that I have. And I, you know, obviously, you know, if you're a turkey hunter, you're probably going to have pretty easy access to some of these big turkey wing feathers. If you're trying to draw a bobcat from a long distance, say across the field, you know, a couple 100 yards, something like that, if this is out somewhere where it's got a lot of visibility, it's probably good to go with a bigger flag, because you're just going to get a lot more movement out of it. These smaller flags, I tend to use these smaller flags really because, you know, where I'm trapping for bobcats is typically like landowner complaints about bobcats, or on property that I, you know, I'm the only one with access to it, so I have trail cameras out. All my landowners always have trail cameras out too. And you know, I'm pretty much on location, just because I have, you know, I have that benefit of having a trail camera footage, or having a landowner that lives on the property and actually, you know, sees these cats moving in certain areas. So I'm real close to on location, you know, right from the start. So I don't need to move a cat. Typically, I'm not trying to get a bobcat to come across a field for 100 or 200 or 500 acres, right? I'm not trying to move them that far. I'm almost right on location. You know, I've got tracks and scat really close to where I'm putting the set. I may need to move a cat 30 yards, right? I don't need to move them 500 yards. So I think these flags are a good size for that. You know, they're not so big and crazy, you know what I mean, like this. But again, I'm not trying to move that cat that far. So if I hang this, you know, if I've got a logging road, I know he comes, you know, this way, and I want to put my set, you know, if it's an intersection, I want to put my set over here on this corner of the logging road rather than right on his path of travel. If I put something like this out 20-30 yards from where he's going, he's going to see it, he's going to be curious, he's probably going to come over, hopefully, right? So I just don't feel like I need a huge flag, so that's why I think these work pretty well for me. Like I said, if you're, you know, basically just kind of putting it out there in the corner of a field and hoping that somewhere in that field a bobcat's going to come out, maybe see your flag, you might want to go with something bigger, something that's going to get more flash and more movement, so that they'll actually see it from that distance. But anyway, that's it. That's the bobcat flags that I make, and like I said, they seem to work pretty well. So if you got any other questions, you know, put them down in the comments. Getting close to trapping season, getting excited about it. I hope you guys are too. Thanks for the likes and the comments and the subscribes. I think I'm up to like 500 subscribers now, which is pretty awesome. So I appreciate all that, and looking forward to the season. Thanks.